I'm doing a review of the Scheels Outfitters Performance Dog Hunting Vest. And here's the vest right here. I'm gonna show it to you on my dog Zara and explain a little bit about the features of the vest. The hardest thing I actually find about this vest is putting it on the dog. You can see that it's a little difficult to get on. What I do is hook the Velcro at the top so that I can slip it over her head and then put her feet in. I find that easier than just trying to put it on without doing that because she doesn't tend to hold very still. I think there should be some sort of little loop or hook at the top where you can kind of hook it on and put it over the dog's head so that it makes it a little easier to get on. Obviously, the alternative is just holding the Velcro together like I did. So I've got the vest on Zara here. You can see in the front there's this really thick chest panel, which has the Scheels logo on it, and it's kind of like this thick plastic, I guess. And that would be really great. It would be great if the dog, gets like a stick or something here. It definitely would give some protection against, first off, briars, but also like a stick or even barbed wire maybe coming into the chest. I mean, it doesn't cover the whole chest area, but I think this is a good feature because these dogs are running full speed ahead and who knows what they might come into. I haven't seen that on a lot of other vests. This part right here is a neoprene, and that goes kind of halfway or a third down the front. So it's a little bit insulated if you're hunting in a colder climate. It provides a little bit of insulation, and it's thick as well. Running through briars, I didn't find that it really got snagged up too much, but I probably need to test it a little bit more to see how that worked. Along the top we have this blaze orange panel that's made out of rugged fabric, and this is also held up pretty well and provides great visibility in the woods when the dog is running along. The back part right here is thinner, stretchy material, definitely thicker than like a swimsuit type material, but it's really stretchy, so it fits the dog really well. This vest in general actually fits her really well, which some of the other vests on the market don't. You can see at the top here there's some bunching along the seam where the Velcro is, but I'm not really sure what a better alternative that would be, because if you had a zipper, that's also hard to use and it would also bunch up like this. Buttons are probably not going to work. So I'm not really sure if there's a better alternative to Velcro. It didn't really seem to bother her when she was running. We primarily hunt woodcock, and the cover where the birds are is typically very thick with a lot of briars and debris to run through. Although I tested this after hunting season, I still went to cover that I would hunt in normally. So you can see it's pretty thick with a lot of little trees and dense undergrowth. And first off, she's pretty visible still, which is great. The vest also didn't really seem to get snagged very much on the briars. Again, I think over time it definitely would and could, but it held up really well. The three different types of material, even that stretchy stuff that's on the bottom, held up really well in briars or whatever else she was running through. The other thing I really like about this vest is it hasn't chafed her at all. Zara has hardly any hair on the underside of her body, and we've had other products that she's worn where she has gotten chafed, and this didn't chafe at all. So all the seams are rolled and sewn, so they're soft, and the way it's cut, she wasn't getting any sort of chafing, or it wasn't rubbing against her armpits or anything, which is really nice. I also tested this vest in the water. Since it does have the neoprene, I figured, let's see what happens when it gets wet. And even with it getting wet, I didn't see any chafing either, so that was great. And it would provide a little bit of insulation or warmth if your dog is hunting and gets in some water or a giant mud puddle or something during the season. One other thing I think could be possibly improved about this vest is the piece that goes between the legs here is very narrow, which it definitely doesn't chafe, but I think it probably could be a little bit wider just to provide a little bit more protection. Zara's got several inches on each side, and she has a pretty narrow chest, so I think it could probably be a little bit wider, maybe half an inch on each side even, but that's not a major thing. The vest also has areas where you can cut up the seam if you need to customize it. So if the vest is a little bit, you need more like a wider leg opening, you can cut up the seam, and they still got stitching here so that the whole thing is not going to come unraveled. So that's kind of nice, and it's got it actually in a bunch of different spots here at the neck, and then on this part of the chest down here as well. You can add get a little bit of leeway, so that's a nice feature too. For storage, I think it would be nice to have some sort of hook or just a little loop or something on either the back end or the front to hang it up. That I personally think would be easy just to hang in like a little closet or something. That's where I store my dog clothing, so that would be nice to have. It's not essential. I mean, you could obviously hang it up by just hanging it like this, but I think a little hook or something could also be helpful to have, but not an essential item. This vest is also very easy to wash if your dog gets dirty like mine does sometimes, and I found it easy just to hose it off or wash it off in the sink, and the debris came off pretty easily, and then you can just hang it up to dry. This vest is also priced at a good price point, I think. It's definitely worth the money, and it's not priced excessively high, but I think you could still get several hunting seasons out of it and wouldn't have to spend a whole lot of money. It's a well-made vest, and I would highly recommend it. If you're looking to get your own, go to Scheels.com and search for the vest there.